Manuj, you did it recently. You're part of the new wave of entrepreneurs. How did you get to crystallize that idea? How did you build your first team? And how did you acquire first customers to come and use your platform?
So I passed out in 2008. Right after my bachelor's, I worked for 5 months in Bangalore over here, and then one of my design projects over there in the college was that to create a Indian language game which could connect the third generation and the first generation, and it was on idea level, and it was a prototype was ready, and I also wanted to sort of I looked at the holiday calendar in my company. And I saw कि अच्छा साल में 10 ही दिन छुट्टी मिलेगी, so I can't go to my home, to my mother, to my brothers and all. So I was quite surprised. So I was like, I have to do something. So there was this business plan competition by IIM-Calcutta that was going on. So I called them up and they were like, have you done an MBA? And I said, no, I've just completed my bachelor's. So I said, okay, you have to write a business plan and all these things. So I said, okay. So sent executive summary, and slowly we won the first round, second round, and we also started developing the game in more detail. And then luckily we won the competition, though it was just a board game idea as compared to the others over there, which were, the solar car was there and things like that. So very much kicked up, okay, so we have won the competition, this, that, and I left my job. And then I was very excited. Then and I started working on game design, my games, this, that. And after a month, I don't know, suddenly I got this here. What have I done? I've left my job. I've got no structure. There's no one telling me what to do. And all these other things came up. Now we have to produce this game. You have to make a website. You have to register the company. And I was like, I just wanted to make the game. What is all this? And those were sort of that 1 month was terrible for me. I was literally on the bed, struck with fear. And everyone was like, so तुम हिंदी का गेम बना रहे हो और इंडिया में, अच्छा बहुत बढ़िया. So it was. So that was the sort of worst period. I had this image why did I jump into this water with a small boat, and I was like all these things are coming up. I used to look, my friends are there, I had a good job before. I was like, why did I do this? But then I realized after that was that abhi nahi to kabhi na kabhi I would have jumped in the water, because I had restless feeling, I have to do something. And then I learned a very important thing about that. So I worry a lot. So I learned a very important thing, whenever I get into this phase, so there are two things that I have to do. First is, whenever I worry, I have to build more connections, meet more new people, tell them about my ideas, discuss things. And the second thing is, make a fresh plan, make a better plan, make a current plan. And then I was like, if a startup is like a baby, then what do babies do? They take baby steps. So just do that. So then we figured out how we'll do production, how we'll do these things, how we'll register a company, and all these things.
What are the precautions we need to take if it will not work out? Those are the things I need to know that.
I think more than the plan B, it was whenever I felt that I made a minimum necessities list. Nothing works out. What do I want? And I actually, given my age, or if I'm a bachelor, this, that, but I actually found out बिस्तर चाहिए, पंखा चाहिए, खाना चाहिए, that's it. Or if I'm whatever, I didn't have many very big expectation. I had this thing that this game has to reach all the Indians, but I was like, till that I'm doing what I really like to do. If I'm doing that, in this age, why do I need anything else? I can just focus on that. And so that sort of, if I'm doing what I like to do, then plan B, plan A has a way.
I have an idea in mind, but I've been talking to people about it. What people say is that having that initial team to really bring that idea to a solid business is the most important thing that entrepreneurs face. So right now I'm on my own. What are the things that I should keep in mind while?
Yeah, no wonder. I would also agree that the initial team is the most important. More than my maths and physics, our mutual chemistry, all three of us, that was the most important for us.
You did it within the family.
Yeah, we were lucky enough that none of us, we all sort of, okay, you also like board games, okay, I also like board games. Great, so we started up. But then from there on also, so one of the good points about that was that initial 6 months, we sort of gave a lot of time in understanding each other. What are you in it exactly for? And we used to have terrible fights because we were in a family, so there were no professionalism. So we used to have sort of this, every Saturday we used to keep this thing, we used to have a misunderstanding flusher. We understood that whatever will happen wrong between us will be due to a misunderstanding. So we used to, on the Saturday, everyone was allowed for an hour to say whatever they have to say, and then just get to know each other very well. And so that has helped in one way, that now that we are growing, I can trust him that whatever he's doing is fine, and we can sort of, because there are 3 founders, so we can, like, I can take the digital front, someone can take the government school front. So we are running much more faster in that way. But and when it came to enrolling or exciting more and more people, it was initially we had thought that what will be a criteria for for getting someone on board. So and we could only come up with a word was that they should be a good person. Just that was very subjective. That when we feel they should have that genuineness, and that should be there. And just the concept, the idea, that sort of kicked many people. And so initially they were very surprised. It was Sachin who joined us, and so he had he joined us as an administrative position, and we told him the idea and our plans and everything. And the next day he called us and he said that I know this is a very small company, but I can see us growing together to some other level. And he himself sort of asked for a major cut. I am ready for this much to start working on it. And that was like, wow. So all those questions like, I'm not getting salary, this, that. So similarly, we also attracted similar people. There's a very good designer, Shantan, who's from National Institute of Design. He had a very nice pay package, but he learned about the concept and he said, ek do saal mein mera matlab, I'll be known for this thing, that I was part of this thing, that the whole India is playing this game and I was part of that. So things like that just pushed. So that was quite. Apart from the team also, there was one very important, from the very first day, we found a very good mentor who was sort of our age, a bit older, and who had experience in all these things. Having having him from the first day, that also had a lot of difference, because every week, he used to come up and he used to motivate us, this idea is good, you are going fine. And when other things came up that, we had to hire someone who was much more senior than us, how do we interview, how do we sit with him, what do we ask? But having Saurabh beside us, that was a lot of help. So that is something that many people miss out on a mentor, but yeah, that really.
How do you gather the confidence? That point when you get confident that I want to enter the business and I want to do this, how do you get it together and you do it? Like each one of them, you all were from the different background and you decided these are the not stuffs which I could do it. This is the one thing which I have to do in my life, and you all started up with that. I just want to know, how do you do that at that moment of time, gathering all the confidence in you?
Manuj was in the bed for a month thinking about what he's going to do next, by the way.
I think more than confidence, it was that, like when I used to come up every day evening from my job, I used to feel angry or something was there, there was some restlessness was there. I have to do something or the other. Though I tried to, no, I'll not, okay, I'll focus more on the job, I'll do this, that, but that thing was there कि नहीं कूदना तो पड़ेगा ही, मतलब कूदना तो है ही मुझे, मतलब और कोई ऑप्शन ही नहीं है, मतलब एक बार ट्राई करना है, जो होगा फिर देखेंगे और एज भी जाता नहीं है, so I have to do it. So that was there, and then then the other good thing was, I started taking these small steps. Okay, let me just send the executive summary. The deadline is tomorrow. Let me just send it. Let's see. I have not prepared the game, but I have at least have an idea. And I got a good response. Slowly and slowly, other things also start to fall in place, and sort of, initially it was always, there's always kaise hoga, but in these 3 years I've seen कि finally I've come to ho gaya. So I've got this thing कि शुरू में I'll find that it's more like if I have to jump to a height, I have to bend down first. So बीच में लगेगा क्या होगा, कैसे होगा, but then only I jump up. So something like so.